There are no aliens and no alien abductions, said William Cooper, author of Behold a Pale Horse. There are no aliens, no alien abductions, and no alien cattle mutilations, said the late William Bill Cooper, author of Behold a Pale Horse, in this very important 1999 interview, only 2 years before he was killed in a shootout in Arizona. Now, let's just watch a portion of this Bill Cooper, the 1999 Lost interview. William Cooper, the Lost Interview from the Land of the Lost documentary.
What do you think about aliens?
I don't think there are any. At one time, I thought that there were, simply based upon documents that I'd seen while I was attached to the intelligence briefing team, the Commander-in-Chief of the Pacific Fleet. At that time, and even for many years afterwards, I did not believe that the government would use me in that way. I had devoted my whole life to government service. I had been in the Air Force, I was in the Navy, I was a river patrol boat captain in Vietnam, I had proved myself. Combat ribbons with the V for Valor. There was no doubt of my loyalty to my country, and maybe that's why it was so easy to use me, because I wouldn't doubt that what I saw was real. But over the years, I've done a lot of research, and what I've discovered is there's no proof existing anywhere that extraterrestrials are real, or that have ever visited this planet, or that they exist anywhere in the universe. There is not one shred of evidence anywhere. There is lots of evidence, tons of it in fact, that there are a group of people collectively known as the Illuminati who want us to believe in some extraterrestrial threat from space so that they can cause a world government, bringing together of all the people to resist that external threat.
So that was just a portion of the 1999 Lost interview with William Cooper. Just around the time when his book, Behold a Pale Horse, became quite popular, Bill Cooper began to depart from ufology and was also beginning to hypothesize that UFOs had nothing to do with aliens, but was a manipulation of the government to bring about fear, to create a one-world government. Cooper began to admit that he most likely had been shown disinformation by the government while he was in the military service. On this point, I truly commended Cooper for his admission. Cooper began to state that he was no longer a ufologist. It was Cooper who coined the term ufology or ufology, and I also commended him for it. I basically agree with Bill Cooper on many of the things he said about UFOs and aliens. What he meant when he said aliens was intelligent, sentient, physical, extraterrestrial, biological entities. And he was right so far. There is no evidence yet that there are aliens anywhere. UFOs do not represent any conclusive evidence whatsoever of actual physical ET visitations. The above all refer to physical reality as we know it. Now, however, some say that there could be more to reality than just pure physical reality in this mysterious universe, and I couldn't agree more. This falls in the realm of religious or spiritual beliefs of each person. I do not discount the religious concept of the existence of sentient paraphysical entities, both benevolent or malevolent in nature. Some call them angelic entities. It is my belief that eons ago there was a cosmic revolt led by Lucifer, in which 1/3 of the created angelic entities sided with Lucifer who became Satan. It is referred to in Revelation 12:4. It is my belief that these malevolent fallen paraphysical entities, also rather uncomfortably described as demonic, could be materializing and dematerializing at will, posing as physical aliens to pre-selected observers, and could be deceiving many, while the other two-thirds of the created angelic entities are benevolent ones, sometimes referred to as guardian angels. Now, Bill Cooper was also a troubled individual, deep inside. There was a dark side to his complex personality. He was extremely short-tempered and had a problem with alcoholism. When he first started giving lectures at UFO meetings and conferences, beginning in 1989, he insisted that one day he had witnessed a submerged disc-shaped object rising out of the sea while on a Navy ship during the time he was in military service. This claim has never been corroborated by any other witness except himself. But unfortunately, he had already included this story in the book, Behold a Pale Horse. Now, I'm not saying that he did not see the disc-shaped object. He could have seen it. But the bottom line is that by the time he wrote his book, he had long come to the conclusion that all UFOs are man-made objects created by the government. However, I disagree with his views that all UFOs are man-made objects. I also do not agree with Bill Cooper that the government has built man-made UFOs in places like Groom Lake, Area 51. By the time that his now classic book, Behold a Pale Horse, came out and began to receive attention, ironically, he had already began to disassociate himself with much of what he wrote. Behold the Pale Horse was basically a compilation of his past military service history, his original speech, The Secret Government, now outdated, filled with misinformation and disinformation and no longer relevant in many ways. Some obscure and outdated, unreliable information and articles provided by others regarding Area 51 and mixed in with verbatim copying of the protocols of the learned elders of Zion, which many researchers had always regarded to be a fraud to begin with. This is Norio Hayakawa in Rio Rancho, New Mexico, USA.